With pre-trial motions over, we'll head into the trial proper. We're here for the case of the people versus Bobby Charles. Bobby, you're facing 4 charges today. Please step forward and enter a plea. Okay. Bobby, you're being charged with the attempted second-degree murder of Bill Mays. How do you plead?
Not guilty. Not guilty.
Okay. You're being charged as an accomplice to the attempted second-degree murder of Pete Shee. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
You're being charged with 1 times evidence tampering. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
And you're being charged with 1 times conspiracy. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Okay, the defendant has entered the plea of not guilty to all charges. Thank you, Mr. Charles. We're proceeding to opening arguments. Prosecution, when you're ready.
Your Honor, do you want me to speak in my city girl voice, or you want me to speak like I'm back home? It's your choice.
Let's go with the one that will offend less people.
I don't know, Your Honor, I'm a marshal. Just me speaking offends everyone. All right, well, it doesn't matter. On December 18th, 2025, 3 friends, 3 amigos, compatriots, or so we would think, grouped up together for lunch. That, Your Honor, is where tragedy struck like a light of a violent flash of lightning. Your Honor, you're going to hear a story of how the defendant, Bobby Charles, led Peach Chi into a mine only to berate her, to tease her, to treat her less than she was. You will see, Your Honor, in her testimony and her interrogation about the video. The video. TM. Copyright. One that someone somewhere, despite cyber forensics, attempted to remove, but we have a copy, nay, a copy of a copy. It's not perfect, but unlike someone's attempts on the docket, it's not AI. Unlike attempts today, Your Honor, it's not fabricated, it's the truth. Your Honor, you will see the evidence presented clearly on how Mr. Charles purchased the weapon the same day. That all the evidence will conclude that beyond a reasonable doubt that they used that gun to strike down someone innocent. You will see the inaction on the video of Mr. Charles and his co-conspirator instructing Mr. Mays to execute the illustrious and amazing Peach Chi. Just look at her. You see how... Just see, look at that. Let me just look at her.
Thank you, thank you.
You'll see how he attempted to cover up that evidence, Your Honor. And no matter what is claimed or what is said or what is attempted by the presentation of the defense, the trail of physical evidence is clear, and we give this prayer to the court to see the same. In that this story, in this case, you will see how Mr. Charles attempted to cover up the evidence in his attempted execution. Despite the pretrial being an hour, Your Honor, my presentation will be short and sweet, just like the shots fired that rang through the mines that day. Thank you.
Thank you, Spox. Councillor Grayson, when you're ready.
Yes, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, hello everybody. Today, my client is facing multiple felonies based off evidence that is shaky at best. We've heard a lot already from Councillor Sparks about, trust me, bro, it's clearly real. Honest, I said so. We, the defense, are upholding trust in the Department of Justice, however, to follow the legislation. In Due Process and Jurisprudence Section 4C, it states clearly, in criminal appeals, where this is the first time charges are assessed before a member of the judiciary, citizens are innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. It is on the prosecution to meet the burden of proof and prove the charges they are choosing to push. We await the prosecution's attempt to prove things beyond, trust me, bro. We await them to attempt to prove them beyond a reasonable doubt, because today we have AI and archivist engagement. We have unreliable witnesses. We have a lack of evidence and a lot of hearsay with no ability for the defense to cross-examine testimony and evidence that is provided through shadowy means from nefarious individuals with unknown motives. The defense places its trust in the wheels of justice turning. The defense places its trust in a fair trial occurring. The defense places its trust in the presumption of innocence. Because as we stand here, Bobby Charles is innocent until proven guilty. And unfortunately, hey, it's real, it's honest. Trust me, bro, isn't enough. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Counsel Grayson. Marshal Sparks, your first witness, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Our first and only witness will be Miss Peach Chi. Sparkle emoji, sparkle emoji.
Oh, okay.
Speech coming up.
Your Honor, the people motion to ensure the sparkle emojis are in the court record, please.
So noted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Just as a note, this, given the crossover with the Calming case, Peach's testimony is going to be given to Judge McRae to use in that, as so as not to need to depose Peach for the same exact questions. That was talked about at the deposition of Dakota. Okay, Peach, raise your left hand for me. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give today is the whole truth and nothing but the truth, under the pains and penalties of perjury, so help you a lonely hawk?
Yeah.
Okay, the witness has been sworn in.
People are ready to question when you're ready, Your Honor.
Can we begin?
Hello, Miss Chi. Are you doing okay today?
Oh, yeah, could be worse, I guess.
Okay, but it could be better, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I feel like I'm on a ship.
What kind of ship?
The Titanic. It's just sinking. And sinking, I'm gasping for air. Help me. And Jeb's floating in the water with his assistant. And I'm still on the ship.
Just gasping for air, wanting Jeb to be here?
Yeah.
Your Honor, people motion to add Jeb as a witness. Parentheses, emotional support for Peach Chi, end parentheses.
I'll deny it. Jeb and I spoke before this. Apparently, they came to a conclusion that Peach is now Jeb's sister, in place of his assistant.
Miss Chi, do you consider that a promotion or demotion?
I'd say, that's a demotion.
I'm so sorry to hear. Well, let's get to the matter at hand then. Do you remember the incident or the day that we're all here for?
I'd say not 100%.
Okay,
like
but enough.
60.
But okay, but you were aware of like the day you got stabbed in December, right?
Objection, counsel's testifying.
Sustain, just bold it as a question, please.
Okay. Do you remember the instance of December 18th, 2025?
Yes. I do remember that date. So close
That-
to Christmas.
But so bloody. So
One
dark.
may say a bloody Christmas.
How did you start your day, Miss Chi?
Oh. I remember. I just clocked on duty. And I want to go grab my things from the locker and stuff. I think. And I just remember running into the men's locker room. I have the borough pass. And I bumped into my best friends, Carmine Costello and Bobby Charles.
Now the questions I'm going to ask Miss Chi might go down a dark and lonesome road. If you need to stop at any time to get tissues, call your emotional support person. Just let the judge know, okay?
Of course.
So they were your best friends at the time. What did they tell you?
That we're going out for lunch?
Ooh, where'd you go?
Well, we didn't get to go anywhere because we had to pick up somebody.
Okay. What, where'd you go to pick them up?
Oh, we went to go look for Bill Mays.
Okay.
And, well, since he's been depresso espresso ever since he got fired and stuff, he's been hanging around the mines.
Where are those mines, Miss Chi?
Like in the middle of the woods?
So
Like,
deep within the middle of the woods, Bill Mays has been hanging around these mines.
yeah.
So how did you get there? How did you get to these mines?
We drove there.
Who was in the car?
Carmine and Bubby?
Okay. Did you guys listen to any good music on the way? Any good conversations?
Um, um, I think maybe we talked about Bill Mays or something. But like, I'm gonna be honest. Bill Mays, he's kind of a vibe killer. He's just so depressing. Okay? And, I don't know why we have to go get him and stuff.
So just for the clarity of the court, then, Miss Chi, they saw you in the boys' locker room with the girl pass, right?
The bro pass.
The bro pass, sorry, the
Okay,
bro pass.
that's my brother.
Oh,
He
makes
gave me the
sense.
pass?
Right. And they tell you that they're going to lunch, but they go to the mines instead.
Well, we had to go get Bill Mays. Bill
Okay.
Mays is at the mines, I guess. And we had to go get him.
How was the full trip there?
I don't really remember too much. I just
That's okay.
remember just drove there, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know
So-
who was driving. Was I driving? Was Carmen driving? I think Carmen was driving or Bubby was driving. One of those two.
Okay. So what happened when you got to the mines?
Oh. Well, silly. I remember it being really dark and stuff. I didn't have any of my things. So I didn't have a flashlight on me. And so, we're just looking for Bill. I'm getting really hungry at this point. And I'm kind of frustrated.
So
because
you're
the
led.
mines-
So you're led into the mines. It's dark. It's gloomy. Your tummy's rumbling. How were you feeling at that time?
I'm just kind of frustrated.
Okay.
And Karma and Bobby. I mean, I'll be honest, sometimes they just kind of ignore me, Like I'm a nuisance and stuff. But we're best friends, so I just kind of ignore, I guess.
You ignore
sometimes
that
they don't
they.
treat me the best.
What do you mean they don't treat you the best? Could you give an example?
Well, sometimes, they call me names. Sometimes Bobby, he likes to he likes to poke me and stuff. You know, he's always like, when I become chief, okay, I'm gonna fire you. And so, but I think they're just teasing. I think.
How often do they do this, Miss Chi?
For a long time. I've known them for a while.
Okay. So you're in these. Let's go back to the mines then. You and Bobby and Carmine are in the mines. Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay. How long were you in the mines before you saw something?
Well, I was in there forever. Okay? Because at one point, I'm getting really frustrated. And it's really, gross in there. I just want to leave. Okay? But I don't know the mines too well. And so, I try to follow Karma and Bubby, but they always kind of walk so fast and whatever, right? And it's really dark. And and then someone came up with a good idea to split up. I'm like, really?
Did you ever tell them you didn't know anywhere? You said you didn't really know the mines. Did you ever tell them that?
No.
Okay. So you guys are splitting up. What happens after that, Miss Chi?
Okay, well, I got lost in the mines, and I'm gonna be honest, it's really quiet in there. You have a lot of time to think for yourself. And I'm just thinking, where are my friends? Okay? And so I start, kind of panicking. And I'm in the mines and I'm screaming, Carmine? Bobby? We go now? Bill? Bill, where are you? Carmine? Bobby? And that's what I kind of remember last and stuff, because next thing you know, the darkness consumes me. And I get this piercing pain in my stomach.
Take your time. It's gonna be okay. I know. I know.
And I don't know. Okay? Because I've been trying to remember. I've been, I've been going to get meditation stuff over the new Epsilon. See if they can help me remember and stuff.
And how's that going for you, Miss Chi?
Every time, well, I just get these thoughts of flames, fire, and just like a screech.
What kind of
Like
screech?
some, yeah, like what rats would make. I can't make it out.
I'm sorry. Truly. Do you remember waking up in the hospital?
Yeah, I do. I do
Oh,
and
okay.
stuff. Yeah. I was in the ICU ward, I guess. And my best friends were there. Haley. I saw Jed. A lot of LSPD officers. I remember seeing. I think Carmine was there, and Bobby.
At the hospital with you?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. It's a little fuzzy still. I mean, the others would know, I guess.
But you were surrounded with what you thought was friends and family, right?
Yes.
Were you ever told what that sharp pain was? Do you ever remember that?
Yes.
What was that, Miss Chi?
Well, I walked out of the hospital. Well, I don't remember when I saw this, but I bumped into Bubby.
You did?
Yes.
When did that happen?
I don't remember.
No.
I'm not sure. Same day, maybe. But I just remember him coming out of the hospital. And I was like, oh my god. He's alive. Well, maybe. And then he said to me, you know, well, he told me Bill Mays didn't. I was like, what? Like Peach. It was Bill Mays. And my best friend, Bobby Charles. He wouldn't lie to me.
You'd hope that, right? That your best friend in the whole wide world would never lie to you about anything?
Objection. Counsel is testifying.
Sustained. Well, she's not testifying, but it's not
Can I clarify?
not a question. Sure.
She's been prejudicial in the way she's asking questions. She's testifying by stating that Peach would hope not. She's adding the answers she wants from Peach, which isn't just leading, it's also testifying. She's adding
can
testimony
rephrase,
and
Your Honor.
Yeah,
poisoning
sustained
questioning.
rephrase.
What would you want out of your best friends, Miss Chi?
I would like money, so I can buy things.
Okay.
I don't know. Free rent. Food.
What about non-physical things? Would you ever want non-physical things from them?
Oh yeah. Just I guess respect. Care. Not to stab me in the back.
Would you want them to stab you anywhere?
Oh no, of course not. No.
Oh, okay. Right. So, respect. Okay. Going back to your previous testimony, you said that your best friends seem to tease you. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, they do.
You think that's respect, Miss Chi?
Um, not really.
Do you trust people who do that kind of thing, Miss Chi?
I don't think it makes them untrustworthy.
So you trusted them when they led you into the mines, right?
Yes.
And you hoped that they wouldn't lead you into a bad situation?
Objection. Counsel is testifying.
Restate that, Spox, just so I
Yeah.
make sure I got it right.
I said you would hope that they wouldn't lead you into a bad situation.
I'll sustain that.
Okay. And going into those mines, you hoped that everything was okay?
Yes. Yeah, I didn't expect to get hurt in the mines.
Did you ever find Bill Mays in the mines, Miss Chi?
No.
So it was only you and your two supposed best friends?
Objection. Counsel is testifying.
Not much part.
Supposed. She's adding inference and innuendo to the question, which prejudices the answer.
You re-asked the question whether it's supposed because Peach did call them her best friends.
Sure. Hmm. So it was only you and Bobby and Carmine in the mines?
Yeah. I guess. Well, I mean, should be Bill Mays, but I never saw him and stuff.
Objection, speculation to the answer. It's clear she doesn't know. She can't answer in an affirmative or a negative as to who was in the mines. She does not know.
I will overrule it because I can understand what she is saying. You know, so it should be built. Like there was uncertainty in her answer. I understand that. I can
Okay.
wait.
Is there anything you'd like to tell your best friends right now, Miss Chi?
Yeah,
What do you want to tell them?
I just want to know what happened in the mines. Okay. You know, ever since that day, I've been trying to ask them over and over and over. Okay? And
And
all
they
Bobby has told me that it's been Bill Mays.
Sorry. But he was there, wasn't he?
Bobby?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And he still hasn't told you what happened.
Oh, no, wait, he told me it's Bill Mays. So,
But that's it.
I mean, I guess so. I really haven't really tried that much.
Do you think that your best friend would lie to you, Miss Chi?
The thing is, I don't know if Bobby is capable of lying and stuff. And I don't think he would lie to me about this.
It'd
How
be a
would
shame
he?
if he was, wouldn't he?
Objection, counsel is testifying.
No further questions on the record, Your Honor.
Sustained. Okay. Defense cross-examination.
Okay. Hi, Peach. How are you doing today?
You okay, I guess?
Peach. Bobby, your best friend.
Yeah?
You trust Bobby?
Yeah, I do.
So when Bobby tells you Bill Mays did it, you believe him, right?
Yeah.
No further questions.
Any redirect on that very narrow scope?
I have something
to say. Okay.
Peach, there's no question pending.
I have a question.
Okay.
What do you want to say, Peach?
Objection, outside scope.
Sustained.
You want to make a comment about your best friend, Peach?
Objection, Your Honor.
It's all about
Argumentative.
Bobby. It's about the
Objection,
man in the
motion to
brown
strike.
suit. Carmine Costello.
We withdraw our motion to strike.
What do you mean? What is going on, Peach? The court,
Objection still
the
outside of
people
scope.
needs to know.
Yeah. I will sustain on scope. Peach's
Your Honor,
outburst is
motion, let her speak.
I can't believe it, you.
She's a victim,
I've
Your
asked
Honor.
Bobby for the truth.
this is not going on the record. It will not be used in the Carmine case.
All right,
I've
fine,
asked
that's fine.
Carmine several times what happened in the mines, but he won't tell me.
No further questions
Thank-
on redirect, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Peach. Is this witness marked for recall?
No,
Okay,
we will
thank you,
allow Peach to
Peach.
step down.
You're free to
Yeah.
step down. You don't have to stay, but you're welcome to.
Thanks for your time today, Peach.
Okay, that is the only witness called to speak today for the prosecution side. Prosecution, would you like to highlight evidence now or in your closing statement?
We'll rest at this time, putting everything in closing, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, Grayson, you don't have any called witnesses. Is Mr. Charles taking the stand today?
No, he isn't.
No,
Okay.
Your Honor, I will be invoking my Fifth Amendment rights, Your
It's
Honor.
not your Fifth Amendment right. It's like you're right in like Section 18 of
It's
due
your,
process.
yeah, 18.
Your Honor, I'll be invoking a section, the Section 8 right in due process.
18.
Your Honor,
Section 8.
I will
Okay.
be my counsel will be speaking on my behalf for the further remainder.
Your Honor, people have permission to say something unprofessional.
Oh, wait, hold on, Bobby. Section 8 is mistrials. Are you motioning for a mistrial at this time?
We did that earlier, Your Honor.
Yeah. Are you doing it again, Bobby? Or are you, Okay. Sorry, Spots, were you making a motion of Bobby?
To
Confused me
be
for a sec.
unprofessional. I have 3 words, Your
Well-
Honor.
Yeah, well, let's not be unprofessional.
Come on, man.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
I'll
Grayson's
give
on
him a
his
free
last
pass.
warning.
I'll give him a free pass. That's fine.
Do you accept the free pass, Grayson?
No, Your Honor. I mean, I've been held to a standard if she doesn't want to hold it to herself.
All right. Unprofessional isn't denied.
right.
Okay. How long do you guys need for closings then?
I'm ready.
I'm not. I need a little bit of time considering we didn't get a definitive answer on the video. My closing will need to involve
The
some more, right?
video, I'll need to assess it in its entirety because I understand it is a recording of a recording. So while the video shown on the screen may be called into question, the video of the surroundings itself could also be valuable.
Yeah.
It's in the sort of same category as the read stuff. I need to assess it in its full context with everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So can I get like 10?
Yeah, let's go with 45 past the hour.
Okay.
I don't think I gavelled us out, so Sparks, whenever you're ready with your closing, go ahead.
All right, Your Honor. Good people of the court, Your Honor, all good parties today, and sparkle emoji, peach sparkle emoji. A trial is a sacred place where a tale, a history of someone's life wraps up another chapter in their story, whatever that story ends up being. But stories don't give us actual verdicts or justice, Your Honor. Evidence does. So, we carefully, Your Honor, walk this timeline hand in hand to answer one simple question. What does the empirical physical evidence show? We have the defendant, Mr. Bobby Charles, and his alleged co-conspirator, Carmine Costello, tied to an activity in the mines. We have them in the same vehicle with the victim, Miss Peachtree. We have them entering the mines. Something transpires inside to the point where emergency services is called. In Marshall Malcolm Nakota's testimony and deposition, the mine reeked of flames and blood. Emergency responders found 3 bodies, which fortunately at least 2 survive and breathe and speak today. They transported these individuals into emergency medical care and began their investigation. In that transport, which included Miss Peachtree, Marshall Nakota collected those casings and projectiles, as well as all other blood and DNA evidence found on scene with proper forensic documentation. Shortly after, according to his own statement, Deputy Cohen Riker found something on good police work and a dash of luck. They found a firearm in the middle of a river that came back to the casings and projectiles in the mine. Once that gun was evaluated, fingerprints lifted, DNA collected, serial number run. This gun, its fingerprints, and the DNA came back to no other person except for Mr. Bobby Charles. Upon further investigation, which cannot be provided, because it does not exist, as is required by legislation, there's no reported stolen firearm, no lost stolen firearm, no report of self-defense as described in the Stand Your Ground Act from anything from Mr. Charles. No attempt was made or noted to be put in any report. We don't have that information, Your Honor. He's required by legislation to provide that as a responsible gun owner. Mr. Charles failed to report this gun, should it even be stolen. But the fact of the matter is, we have further bank records that prove otherwise. He purchased that gun that day, Your Honor. And he used that gun to strike down Bill Mays in those terrible, horrific events inside the mines. Those memories, those flames in that darkness, that Peach Chi still has nightmares about to this day. You don't need a direct confession to prove how that chain of events occurred, Your Honor. It is a chain of evidence supported by scientific foundation. There's no trace of any gloves, no report of a firearm being stolen. A reasonable person, Your Honor, is the standard that we live by. A reasonable person would have reported their firearm stolen or taken, lost, or anything sometime between then and now, which was almost a month ago at this point. Instead, we have Mr. Charles sitting across the aisle and the currently conscious victim doing what she should be doing, serving. Beyond a reasonable doubt is the burden, Your Honor, that we are presented today, and it is not designed to be 100%, oh my God, we have an exact proof video for whatever reason, whatever. Here, no reasonable person can come to any other conclusion to what transpired. Mr. Charles conspired to do some crime in some random part of the forest, which was Galileo Road, to bring his alleged friend, his alleged best friend, to a mine to find Bill Mays. He purchased the firearm the same day. He didn't report this firearm, which was what a reasonable good person would do, which is required by legislation. Your Honor, we cannot chalk this up to just quote-unquote Bobby things, Your Honor. We can only come to one conclusion. This was a disposal of an attempted murder weapon by design. As soon as you pull a gun and hold it to someone's head, their body, and refuse to report it, to dispose of it in any capacity, and in this case, it was a nearby river, to refuse to cooperate with law enforcement as a member of law enforcement himself, no one can sit here and make a speculation on what Mr. Charles was thinking, what was acting. But at the time of this event, he was a sergeant in the Los Santos Police Department with an oath to swear to serve and protect. This is someone who knows law enforcement procedure hand in hand and understands what the finding of that gun would mean. This is not speculation, Your Honor. He disposed of this evidence deep into a river with hopes that his crimes would never be found. And that is the spirit of this charge, Your Honor. The spirit of the law for evidence tampering. There's no other DNA evidence, no other fingerprints, and in the short timeline, he fired the gun. He conspired to bring Peach Chi into the mines, have her sent to the hospital, and by her own admission, he appeared with his alleged co-conspirator to check on her. We are fortunate that we have that gun, which he was in possession of during that day, and no one else. It's not reasonable to presume any other fact. The violent actions here today, Your Honor, deserve to have the sword of justice come down and find this man guilty of his crimes. Thank you.
Thank you, Marshal Sparks. Pistol Grayson.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, today what we have is a prosecution built on tone policing. I want you to look at report 36512. The evidence in this trial contains a report complaining about Bobby Charles, gloating that he was temporarily promoted to the chief of police. Nothing of any consequence to this trial is involved in this report, but it's important enough to show that Bobby Charles can be a dickhead. Your Honor, objection nothing pending. We all know Bobby Charles is a dick, but we know this about him. Treating him differently because he is who he is, holding him to a different standard is abhorrent. Now, we heard on the stand, Your Honor, Peach Chi believes that Bobby Charles when he says Bill Mays did it. She's the prosecution's star witness. She's the only witness. Bobby Charles was not charged with criminally negligent ownership of a firearm. That whole argument from Marshall Sparks is beside the point. If he had been charged, I'd defend it, I guess. But I don't need to, because he wasn't charged with that, was he? The circumstantial evidence surrounding this case is all over the place. Let's talk about it. Marshall Sparks wants to hold Bobby Charles to a standard because he's a sergeant. But he wasn't on duty. He was out having lunch with friends. He's a private citizen. That's why one of the charges in this case was dismissed, right? Let's talk about incident report 21640. The evidence shows a knife was found on Bill Mays. DNA doesn't come back to anybody. It doesn't show that Bobby Charles ever held or was near that knife. But it was found in the possession of Bill Mays. The gun for which the charges were dropped wasn't found in the possession of Bobby Charles. It's very interesting where the timeline of events of Marshall Sparks ends, Your Honor. We'll get back to that. Then we have Reed Dancleaf on scene. Incident report 21640. Reed Dancleaf was found with a Class 3 rifle. Were any charges attributed to that rifle? Was it hot? Was Reed Dancleaf offered any deal in relation to that rifle that would induce cooperation? Was he charged with a crime for the rifle or for his admission of extortion? We have no answers to any of these questions. We know he had the intention and the attempt to extort somebody related to these events. Was he induced to provide testimony with promises of not being convicted? We should know that, but we don't get those answers. Bill Mays cannot be questioned. This inherently adds doubt. His failure to appear with the missing report in which he points fingers at Bobby Charles adds doubt, especially when he is named specifically by other people as a person of interest and a potential perpetrator. Other people pointed fingers. Other people said Bill Mays did this. Where is he? If you choose to watch the video, Your Honor, if you choose to add it as evidence, no one can clearly be identified, even via voice identification, because there is clear vocal distortion. There are unidentified people present in that video. What stops them from being suspects and charged? In 37919, we have a police report indicating what happened to Bobby Charles after this. Bobby Charles, directly after these events, was found the same day, within a reasonable amount of time, in the water at Chumash Pier after being shot down as the victim of a crime by masked, costumed potential terrorists, flying around and shooting at the pier. This is evidence the prosecution added, but fails to highlight because it does not help their timeline. How did Bobby leave the mines? Was it under his own volition? Or is this merely the victimization of a man who ended his day drowning off Chumash Pier as the victim of foul criminal activity? Carmine Costello wasn't there. Don't even know what the fuck happened to that dude. There's no proof of collusion or conspiracy to commit criminal acts here. It's inference and innuendo. There's no proof that Bobby Charles left the mines under his own control. There is evidence he was kidnapped and hurt because he was found shot down in the water off Chumash Pier with the aggressors still in the area, flying around on flying machines. How can they prove that Bobby Charles tampered with evidence on scene when they can't even state how he left the mines? Your Honor, did they prove this? The legislative burden is not on me having to disprove or me providing reasonable doubt. Did they prove the charges that are left? She doesn't think Bobby did this. He doesn't think Bobby stabbed her. Bill Mays isn't even here to be questioned. Who the fuck knows what happened to Bill Mays? Conspiracy? Where? Show me. Prove it. Evidence tampering. Where? Prove it. DNA evidence showing it happened. Active testimony to say it occurred. Instead, what we have is silence. Silence as to what happened when the video ends. The video I don't even believe is real. Your Honor, there isn't a question about if there's reasonable doubt here. The question here is, how did this go forward with the level of evidence that's provided? It's not there. There can be no conviction. The standard is clear. Beyond a reasonable doubt, the burden of evidence is clear, proven by the prosecution. This is treating Bobby Charles differently because he's Bobby Charles. The defense vehemently objects. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Counsel Gray. I will now go and deliberate. There are a few interrogations I need to listen to. I'll try and do that on 2x speed, assuming I can still understand them clearly. I will put out an announcement when I am about to return with my verdict. You all don't need to stay here, you're free to leave, but if you want to return, keep an eye out for the announcement. Okay.
The barrier at this point now.
Alright. First, I shall address the evidence that was brought up in pre-trial, that being Reed's reliability, statements, testimony, as well as the video. Okay, so when it comes to Reed, a lot of his first interrogation was a whole lot of nothing in terms of this charge, at least. This case. A lot of time was spent talking about the class 3, where he got dice rolling, Fat Derek, a lot of stuff. Then in the second one, he does admit to wanting to extort Man in Mask. So then we look to the reliability of Reed Dancleaf. He has been charged with extortion in the past. He's admitted to extortion now. So it does bring into question, when was he lying? Because in the first interrogation, he says he, got the rifle from the hunting guy, but then he says he found it in his trunk, and, if you're lying once, why aren't you lying all the time? That sort of idea. But then, on the other side, we'll say conversely, Reed does seem to have knowledge of things that line up with the physical evidence in this case. So it does lend some credence to what he's saying. Not a lot, but, to the idea of how does he know these intimate details without being told them? And we have no evidence or reason to believe he's been told or leaked or anything. So, while Reed's testimony and statements aren't worth much, they aren't worth nothing. Then to the video. On the face of it, there are some issues with it. It is a recording of the projector screen grapeseed. It is faintly obscured by snow. I don't mean the marshal, I mean the weather. Leo, Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
As far as PD bot is concerned, my opinion, that's not a person, that's not a cop, that's a piece of government equipment. It's no different than the police cruisers, no different than the drones. Just because it has a bit of autonomy doesn't make it a cop or a person. So what PD bot says, not really much stock to put into what PD bot could say, because someone could just transmit it to say stuff. But then back to the video. The video does have artifacts, glitches, corruptions, however you want to word it. There is not a consistent, singular. There are visual artifacts, we'll call it. The audio as well does become distorted at points. And I am leaning to put the video in the sort of same bucket as read, as stuff that happens in the video or is heard in the video lines up with what the physical evidence suggests. There is, AI slop. It was branded as by the defense. While that could be true, then that would mean someone with intimate knowledge of the case would have had to have done that. And the allegations is Reed, but if Reed is making a fake AI video to line up with physical evidence, it's not exactly lining up in my mind. So to the video, it has some evidentiary value. It's not its weight in gold, it's not the gold standard, it's not the quote unquote smoking gun, but it's not worth nothing. So, to the charges. Bobby Charles pled not guilty to all charges. Pled not guilty to attempted second-degree murder for Bill Mays, the accomplice to attempted second-degree murder of Peach, count of evidence tampering, and a count of conspiracy. I'll start with the easiest one, the conspiracy. It is alleged that Bobby and Carmine conspired to commit a crime. What that crime is was not clearly articulated. Was it attempted murder? Was it evidence tampering? Was it witness tampering? I don't know. Conspiracy to commit a vague crime, it's not just, conspiracy and then pick from the charges, Your Honor. I would like to know what crime. Furthermore, I don't have too much to say in terms of communication between them agreeing. No texts. The video, maybe, but beyond a reasonable doubt, no. So for conspiracy, Bobby, you will be found not guilty. To the evidence tampering. The prosecution alleges that Bobby tampered with evidence in the disposal or concealment, or however you want to word it, of the firearm that was found near Haley Maxwell's vehicle. Now, when it comes to the charge of evidence tampering, it is to be done with intent. The prosecution lays forward an argument that Bobby is a police officer. He knows that he has a reasonable knowledge of what can and can't be evidence, what can and is an ongoing investigation. And to that, I agree. However, the later incident of Bobby at Chumash Pier does add a bit of doubt to the evidence tampering. I do not know beyond a reasonable doubt that Bobby intended to leave the gun there for the intent of concealing it from an ongoing investigation. It seems to me he was, based on the evidence, he was driving in Maxwell's car, crashed in the river, and either while on foot going away from the car or from the car directly was abducted. That leaves reasonable doubt to the evidence tampering. Then we move on to, Bobby, you're going to be found not guilty of the evidence tampering. Now to the attempted murders. We look at the physical evidence. Bill Mays was shot with Bobby Charles's gun. Casings of projectiles, DNA evidence clearly lay that out. Bobby Charles's gun was found. Bobby Charles's gun was found only with his fingerprints on it. In the video, before any of the audio gets distorted, we hear a voice that sounds like Carmine, which, given Peach's testimony of being there with Bobby and Carmine, combined with Bobby then saying after the fact, Bill did it, alluding to he had knowledge of the incident, places Bobby on scene. So we have Bobby on scene with Bobby's gun, Bobby's fingerprints on the gun, Bobby's gun shooting Bill. I could see no other reasonable alternative. Bobby, you will be found guilty of the attempted second-degree murder of Bill Mates. Then to the attempted second-degree murder of Peach Chi as an accomplice. Prosecution are alleging that Carmine Costello is the primary actor in this. So we look at the knives in question. Bill had 2 knives. Maybe Tessa's going to come after him for copyright infringement, but that's neither here nor there. Bill had a knife registered to himself. Bill also had a knife registered to Carmine Costello. The knife in his hand had blood on it. Based on the video, we hear a voice say, "Why are you giving me this knife? Or why are you handing me this?" We also look at Peach's statement. Let me not misquote Peach here. Carmine had his tits out. Now, before the video feed itself got distorted, we do see a shirtless man. So we have Carmine on scene, Peach being stabbed, Carmine's knife, Bobby being there. Bear in mind, this is Bobby's charges. And no 911s, no anything from Bobby to indicate try to get Peach help. Nothing to indicate he wasn't complicit. The evidence points towards Bobby being complicit.
Carmine's fucked.
So I will find Bobby guilty of accomplice to attempted second-degree murder. And for that, you will be fined the statutory amount and sent to Bolingbroke for the statutory amount.
Oh, what is that? What the fuck? What the
What
fuck?
the
Oh my
fuck?
god!
No! Oh my god!
Oh!
Spontaneous.
Holy shit, finally some happening, some action!
Somebody why you let him leave?
What happens in the mines? It stays in the mines.
Oh!
In the sky, Bean! In the sky now,
Through
Bean!
the window! He's gone!
He flew out the window!
What's the man? From the mines.
Well, that
What
just
the
proves
fuck?
the
Where's
point.
Bobby?
Did you see it fly, Bean? It went west.
I'm not gonna be Justice if you have us, okay? You better stay alive.
It's a
You better stay
some,
alive. I'm not
it's
being
some
just.
jetpack rider.
Hold on, we need EMS. We need EMS.
Oh,
If you're not a bomb expert, you don't get to live like me, buckos. So pipe down and burn, bitches. Pipe down and burn.
getting out.
Get out,
Only
get
bomb
out.
experts get to
Go,
live.
just go, go.
Ursula, I recommend you leave as well, but if you want to get the footage, I don't blame you.
We need to go! We need to go! Everyone out! Everyone
Everybody
out!
out! Everybody
Not on
out!
Everyone out! Oh my
Shit.
god!
Oh, yeah, I gotta get out of here. Yeah, all right.
Ursula, get out of here! You gotta leave. Leave.
Ursula, come on!
It's not safe.
Go,
Hurry!
go!
Hurry!
Oh shoot! Grab this guy!
Grab him!
Grab that guy!
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Green Goblin broke in, exploded the judge and like 4 other people, and then broke
I
back out
don't
the
know
window.
who that is.
The Green Gobbler!
I don't know who that is.
It's a goblin on a flying jet ski. That's
I
spot on.
don't read comic books.
It's a goblin on a jet ski. I'm just telling you who it is. That's all everybody knows.
Idol.
People running
Get out! He's not in there. He's not in there. They see him in the sky. We're on channel 4. It's clear. Let's go. It's clear.
Also, PD White is really loud.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh god. Oh god.
Don't go in there. Don't go in there. Hey, it's
We're
clear.
on channel
Come on.
4.
Come out. It's clear. Come on, it's clear. Get out of
It's
here.
clear, Ruby. Ruby, we
Clear.
cleared
Get out of
it.
here. It's clear. Get out of here.
We've
It is
cleared it.
empty. That's what I'm saying. Get out of here.
Shoot it
It's
down!
unstable.
Shoot it down! We're on channel 4. Channel 4.
It's on Elgin.
Downstairs.
It's on Elgin. We're okay.
Chase
Where
it!
am I putting these people?
Oh, we're gonna need EMS. Oh, should we move? Just She said 301. Should we move him there?
Okay, I'm taking you downstairs.
Get him downstairs. Get him downstairs.
Yeah, okay.
The shooter's not in the building. The primary suspect's not in the building. Downstairs.